Help me, my brother, can you lend me a hand as I walk through this land of confusion? If we give to each other, then there's nothing to take. Let's live life for the moment before it slips away.
Hey, how are you guys? Wow, Jillian, look at you.
I'm here.
You changed backgrounds on me.
I did because I wasn't getting a good internet connection where I was sitting, so I moved.
No worries. You know what? I think we can probably we'll be on shortly off. So, well, look at you have a dog visiting you. That's pretty fun.
I do. But what were you making sure? My husband just keeps.
For real?
Yeah, so anyway, it looks like Jillian's having wow, look, another dog visiting. It's like she's got a whole pound.
I've got a menagerie. I'm starting a dog band.
I love it. It's a band of dogs. Okay, so here's the thing. This is sort of an impromptu Last Life Ever episode. We know that you guys count on us, and that your Monday nights would not be the same if we weren't here. So we decided that at the last minute that we were going to do a question and answer show, right? So we're going to answer any questions that people ask. Nothing's off limits.
We're going to questions.
Yeah, I do.
This is great. This is going to turn into the Jillian show, it sounds like.
No, you know what? I think that same person asking the questions is just messing with us. I just have a feeling about that.
I'm going to answer them anyhow. Why not?
Oh, yeah. No, we got nothing else to worry about. So, actually, you know what? That's actually Elise asking those questions. I just looked it up on the actual post. I'm posting them on your page. And for whatever reason, they're not coming through as her.
That's okay. Let's do this. Before we get to the questions, and I'm going to answer all those questions because I want to answer those questions because we said we'd answer anything you asked.
Well, I'm going to also make an attempt to answer the questions.
Okay.
Even when they're clearly directed at you.
Okay. There's some really good ones coming up here. Okay. So the first one I want to do is I want to unbox a gift Jeff sent me. Jeff is like, I know what your love language is. It's not hard to figure you out. You're an easy tell.
In fairness, I want to tell you before you unbox this gift I sent you. This is a gift that I bought you when I didn't know you very well. When we were just first starting Last Life Ever, and you posted something about this particular thing online, and I posted a link to where you could buy it, and you said, I hope that you're planning on buying this for me as a gift. And so I bought it on the spot, thinking I would give it to you when I saw you in March. This was like in January, like early January. I thought, I'm going to see her in March. I'll give it to her then. It'll be funny because she probably will barely remember even talking about this. Well, we didn't get to see each other in March because there's this global pandemic that came out. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but it's called Corona something or other. But it definitely is a pandemic where we all get stuck in our houses and drink a lot of alcohol. So it's one of those kind of things.
I've been pretty good in the last couple of days. I haven't been drinking, but I am going to start drinking again here shortly because we're doing our Last Life Ever beverage contest where you could be the fabulous winner of fabulous prizes and having the glory of having your drink named after the Last Life Ever. And then we're going to put a concerted effort, guys. This is why this contest is so important. The glory is really important, this one, because we are going to put a concerted effort in getting in with alcohol companies, in with bars, in with chain restaurants, and getting people to get used to the best life ever. Yeah.
And so if you can find like a really obscure alcohol to put in, then that will make it even easier for us, because then we can find this obscure alcohol companies to sponsor our drink.
Yeah. Now, by the way, it's not about how obscure you can be. It's about how tasty.
Yeah, it's got to be delicious. Oh, so I invented a drink once. I mean, as long as we're talking about drinks, I'm going to tell you, I invented this drink called the George R.R. Martin. Okay. Now, you know who George R.R. Martin is, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so, he's famous for...
what is that show that I'm not really into? Game of Thrones.
Right, that show that everyone seems to like that's not very good. Well, the first book in the series is called Fire and Ice, right? Mm-hmm. So I like to go into bars and order a George R.R. Martin because it sounds like something they should know what it is, but it's not a real drink because I made it up. And the George R.R. Martin is Tennessee Fire on the rocks. So it's fire and ice. So it's basically like the Jack Daniels version of Fireball on ice. George R.R. Martin, fire and ice.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. You don't have to get like overly complicated. Like I when quarantine first started, I was mixing all kinds of things in my house just to see what I could come up with. And I came up with some pretty interesting things, and I named them all kinds of weird names, and I don't remember any of them now unless we've recorded that somewhere. I really don't remember any of it. So, but I do, I am going to be one of the judges. And if you live near me, I'll buy all the ingredients, and you can also make your own version. I'll give you the ingredients separately, because part of the deal, part of the contest is the experience of making the drink itself. So you get bonus points if you have to light it on fire, for example, or something like that.
Right. No, I mean, the more exciting it is, the better, right? So, but listen, this is only, you're not going to buy the ingredients for everyone, just the judges, right?
Yeah,
and you can't submit drinks and be a judge in the same category, just to be clear.
No. So if you're gonna be a judge, you either have to buy your own ingredients, or you have to live near me and I'll buy you the ingredients. Because what I'm going to do is, like, obviously if something calls for, some obscure, like Hypnotic or something, I would never buy. I don't know why I picked Hypnotic, but if it requires Hypnotic, I'm not going to sit around with a bottle of Hypnotic for the next 5 years. I'll make my drink and then try it, and then probably put the Hypnotic away. So in that case, I can share that Hypnotic with you.
And I also agree with this. If you live sort of close to Chattanooga and you want to be a judge, reach out to me or Jillian. We'll get you set up. We probably don't need like hundreds of judges. It's going to be kind of first come, first serve. And you can judge either both categories, the alcoholic category or just the non-alcoholic category. Your choice.
Yeah, and the deal is, guys, we really don't need judges. What we really need
drink recipes.
So we have a special email address where you can send us your recipes. As you send them in, we're going to start making the drinks, and we've already gotten quite a few, but we need more. The more the merrier. Look, guys, this is just like our brackets, right? Our brackets have made it really interesting because so many people have participated and have gotten violent and vicious over their opinions on television shows. And by the way, I made some scheduled Facebook posts for the last bracket to go out, or the most recent bracket, round 4, to go out, and they didn't seem to post. So I'm going to have to do that again after this.
Immediately following this high quality question and answer, which is going to get really entertaining. I don't know, you guys probably haven't seen all the questions, but we have a whole slew of bizarre questions that have come in. Some of them are so ridiculous, I almost don't want to answer them, but we're going to answer them all.
Yeah, we're going to answer them all. And okay, so this is the gift, going back to what we were talking about earlier. This is the gift Jeff sent me in the mail. I pre-opened the box because last time I opened a box from Jeff, it took me about 10 minutes to do, and that does not make for compelling podcasting. So I pre-opened this box a little bit, and fortunately he wrapped it into another package, or it came in another package.
But I have to warn you, inside of that package, I also put some mail for you. So it's inside of the package in your hand.
Yeah, I got it. It's inside. Okay. So here we go. Oh, it's a t-shirt. Girls just want to have guns, and ain't that the truth? This, you know who's going to appreciate this one? Our girlfriend Keely.
Oh yeah, no, she will. In fact, if I had known her then, I probably would have bought her one too.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. I love it. I'm going to wear it with pride.
Yeah, well, as soon as you get back to the gym, right? Because that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's just sort of a gym shirt, but all right. Well, that's it. So that's all the unboxing. Now, because we got more unboxing. Oh,
this, guys, I'm very excited about.
It's from Amazon. I like the looks of it.
Now, they only sent me 3. I ordered 5.
Yeah, they sent them in weird groups, actually. So you might have 2 separate packages.
Ta-da!
Oh, look at that. That's amazing. That reminds me, I need to buy another copy because I already have committed to give away the ones that I've bought. And yeah, so I'm going to do that right now on the air live. I'm going to buy the Coronavirus Collective right there. This is Amazon.
Nice.
And so if you guys haven't done this already, remember that this is something that, all right, proceed to checkout. Hold on one second while I do this. We have now just raised some more money for charity, and it'll be delivered next week. So I will have some of my own tomorrow because mine are supposed to arrive tomorrow. But yes, if you have not bought the book already, this is a great time to go out and buy the book on Amazon. Remember, all of the proceeds, all the profits are going to charity. So it's a great thing to do. Speaking of books, Jillian, obviously you're holding my favorite book in the world right now, right? But I was thinking about the fact that I have all these books behind me all the time, like back here, right? Somewhere.
Yeah.
This is a weird non-mirrored camera interface, so it's hard to point. But I have all these books behind me, and people keep asking me, why do I have so many books? And the answer is because I'm a weirdo and I like to collect books. So what I've done is, because last week my brother mentioned Slaughterhouse-5.
Yeah.
I brought out my show and tell here. This is a signed limited edition of Slaughterhouse-5. It's a leather bound signed limited edition. Check this out. It's number 200 and it's hard to hold up to the camera. 275 out of 750 that exist in the world, and it is probably my favorite book ever because it's so pretty. I mean, it's unbelievable how pretty it is. There's like so much great art in here. And they only ever made 750 of them. So, no, I'm sorry, 850. That's what happens when I don't look at it. So there's 850 of this book. It's beautiful, hand signed by Kurt Vonnegut, the author of Slaughterhouse-5. So there you go.
Yeah.
So have you read it yet? You said last week you were going to read it. So did you finish it?
No, I haven't gotten on top of it. I'm trying to get through some other things. Right now I'm reading a book on the book of Genesis.
Perfect.
And lessons you can get from the book of Genesis. And if you guys want to join us in reading that book too, my partner in my law firm, Nancy, and I are reading that book together. And we're going to do a little book review on it on Thursday. You can find a link to that book in the Last Life Ever Facebook page.
All right. So listen, we've got some questions. People can keep sending those in the comments. Just put them in the comments, and we'll get to them. But I'm going to go ahead and moderate these first couple for you, Jillian. So here's the first question.
What is the best way to find deals that are compliant with SEC requirements as an investor? I love the one tip I got. Well, if you really want to just like an easy, quick way, the best way to do that is to go to any crowdfunding platform, like compliant crowdfunding platform. So for example, like if you wanted to go to like, I'm assuming this says deals. So I'm assuming they mean real estate deals. So what you really want to go to is like any kind of real estate crowdfunding platform, and make sure that those deals have, a PPM, an operating agreement, a subscription agreement, et cetera. That's probably the quickest and fastest way to find deals that are compliant with SEC requirements.
Right, and also follow every multifamily person out there, right? Like all of these people, you're still going to have to filter a little bit, but there's tons of people that are doing offerings and putting their deals out. You want to get on their mailing lists you want to meet as many of those people as you can.
Right. You do. And so what you really, and the thing is though, just because you're on their mailing list and just because they have a big list and just because they have really good marketing though, I want to let you know that doesn't mean they have good documents. I know some people out there who are really big in the industry and have terrible.
Right. And you know how I sort through this? This is a pro tip that I'm going to tell right now on the air for the first and only time. I just look at who the attorney of record is for the offering. And if it says Jillian Sidoti, then I say it's okay. If it's anyone else, I just throw it away. Isn't that the right strategy?
I don't know if that's a good policy. I'm not the only one out there that has. I don't think that's a good policy. I think you're going to miss out on a lot if you have that as a policy.
Well, that's just because you don't have enough clients. So if you guys are thinking about writing an offering, you should call Jillian up and she'll help you out with that. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So I want. This is another question. And I want to take this one first, if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so the question is, what percentage should we have in diversification? And then they give this example, 60% real estate, 20% annuity, 20% gold. I say don't diversify. I think diversification is stupid. I think people that worry about diversification are thinking about this way too much. Diversification makes perfect sense if you're trying to buy a basket of securities and you don't want to be active and everything. But if you're thinking about buying real estate, then, and no, by the way, I give a different answer if someone's completely passive and they're only buying other people's deals, okay? But if you're thinking about buying real estate, you should be thinking about diversifying across markets and across property types and across properties. You should not be thinking about diversification as far as what you want to have in the stock market or an annuity. Now, there is something to be said about splitting it up among different things. Like when you get to certain points in life, you might say, hey, at this point, I'm less risk. I have less risk tolerance than I did before, or I have more risk tolerance than I did before. And then you can start looking at diversifying. But to say that there's a specific percentage of diversification that makes sense for any one person is impossible. And so if you're asking this question, you're asking it all wrong. It should be, what should I personally, and maybe that's what they meant, right? But we don't know enough about their situation to answer that. What should I personally be investing in? And for me, I try to invest almost everything in real estate. Now, I do believe you should have some in cash. I think it makes sense to have some in the market. But for me, it's about real estate. Other people disagree with this, and that's why I wanted to answer first, so Jillian can tell me I'm dumb.
No, I don't think you're dumb. What I do think, though, is that one rule of thumb I always have, no matter what you decide that your investment strategy is going to be. First of all, I always like to look at what Warren Buffett says. And when it comes to stocks, even though I like to dabble in the stock market myself occasionally, I've made a lot of money in some stocks and I've lost a lot of money in other stocks. And what Warren Buffett always says is that you do the S&P. You do the S&P, you do the S&P, you do the S&P.
Right, if you want to diversify, right, just buy a fund like that, right? S&P, exchange traded fund. But if you have special knowledge or you control, like you own the real estate or it's your own company, like you're Jeff Bezos, it's fine to have a whole bunch of Amazon stock, right? But for most individuals, trying to trade in stocks is actually very difficult.
Yeah, but let me just speak to the diversity for a second. And I know plenty of real estate entrepreneurs who aren't diversified at all in the sense that they're not outside of anything out of real estate, and that's worked fine for them. And but for me, I want to get it down to I want to get it down to brass tacks. And you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong, in my opinion, if you choose to say at 10% per investment opportunity. So for example, if I have a deal and I'm saying to you, hey, you want to invest with me and your net worth is $100,000, then you should not be giving me more than 10% of your money.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. In fact, that might even be higher than what I would recommend people do. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the maximum. If you love a deal, put 10% of your net worth into that deal. That's the max. I wouldn't even do it. And there's some deals I really love, but at this point, I couldn't do it. I can't justify it. And listen, if it's something you control yourself, you might make those kind of power moves, right? Like a guy like I'm pretty confident Elon Musk has more than 10% of his net worth in Tesla stock. I'm pretty confident of that. But those are exceptions, not the rule, right? Like if you're investing passively, you really can't. You need to be spread out over more than 10 things. So 10% makes good sense.
So what's our next question?
All right, the next question is well, first of all, I want to say hello to this person because I just virtually met her. So hello, Cindy. Thanks for joining us. All right, our next question. Thanks, Tim. Why don't you take this one, Jillian?
It will be done when I say it's done.
When will so just in case people are listening on like one of the podcasting apps or somewhere where they can't see the screen, the question is, when will the coronavirus be done? And the answer is when Jillian says it will be done.
That's it. No. But seriously, what I do want to warn everybody about is that although technology, and this is my opinion, and I have a kid right now who's upstairs, I hear him moaning and groaning. He's not feeling great. Going through that inflammation thing right now. What I do want to remind everybody of is that you don't want to look at this as, one of these things where, everybody becomes an expert overnight. There are some truths that we can look at with our own eyeballs that history tells us. And the first thing that I see history telling us is that the Spanish flu took 2 full years to get over. That was the most recent pandemic, right, in 1918. And so then the next argument to that is, well, technology is better, healthcare is better. Okay, but nobody has the answer to this one yet. A. And B, also there are more people and transportation is better. So meaning it can spread easier and there's more people to spread it to, so there's more carriers. So I am not optimistic, but I am hopeful that this is over soon. But to be perfectly frank, I think we are stupid if we think this is going to be any less than 2 years. So
I would say mostly true. Between 90 days from now and 18 months from now is when I think it'll be over. That's a very wide range, but that's as much specificity as I can get. And the answer is going to be, there may be some kind of out of the blue miracle solution that I think it becomes more likely the longer we go, because there's tons of resources being poured into trying to figure out a way to beat this thing. So at some point there's going to be a solution. Or we're going to get to herd immunity. Herd immunity is 2 years away. 18 months probably from now is a safe guesstimate of when that would occur. Vaccines might be anywhere from 30 days to 12 months from now before they're available, if at all. And so we're not going to be done in the next 90 days, because even if there's a confirmed vaccine today, it takes 90 days to get enough doses out there to get to a type of herd immunity. So the answer is sometime in the next couple of years, probably at least 90 days from now, more likely 6 months. Yeah. Okay, that's as good as I can get. So the next question.
By the way, I'm a trained immunologist. I also have a PhD in virology, and
I listen, just so you know, I don't know why you're asking me at all. Okay, listen, but I want everyone to understand this. When I was in China in the fall, I invented the coronavirus in a lab, so I'm actually the world's foremost expert in this. So that's why they're asking. And the answer is, I didn't think ahead far enough to figure out how to end it. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to start it.
Just to see what would happen, last life ever, Leela, just saying. So
I just wanted to see how matches worked in the middle of the woods.
I believe this question's directed at you.
No, it says Jeff. Do you have anything important for us?
No. I don't. No, I mean, it depends on what they mean by cool. I don't even know who asked this question. So like I think things that I think are cool and things that I think are good investments are two separate things. Like, for example, I went on a crowdfunding app and I invested in a company called Barrows and Tents. And this is not available anymore because they're done with their round. But basically what they do is they make hand bottled ginger liqueurs in Brooklyn, right? It's like delicious, really spicy but sweet ginger liqueur. It makes a great Moscow Mule. I love this company. I invested a small amount of money in it. I think that is a really cool investment, but it's basically throwing money away. Like, I mean, I hope that it works out, right? Like, I really do. But I invested like $500 because I knew instinctively that there was a very low probability that thing's ever going to be worth a significant amount of money. That to me is a really cool investment. I think what this person is asking is, do I have any deals personally to talk about that I'm sort of involved in? And the answer to that is nothing that I can talk about on this webinar or this Last Life Ever show. And Jillian is
like a true Jillian Sidoti protege.
That's right. I learned that from Jillian. Nothing that I can talk about on here. So,
so we got one about how this one right here. How did you two meet?
Oh, wow. I missed that one. Sorry. Go ahead, Jillian. You tell them how we met.
So we were at a bar because that's where most good stories start. But
that's not actually accurate.
No, we were at the bar at an event.
No, I don't. I mean, that's not how I recall it. But go ahead. You tell it how you want.
All right. So
I believe we were at the vendor table for crowdfundinglawyers.net is where we first met. You might not remember that, but I do. I went to see your vendor table.
I saw you, and you had your little T-shirt on, which you normally wear, which is the
true.
old-fashioned real estate T-shirt. And I went up to you, and it was the happy hour for the real estate guys event. So we're at a real estate event, and it was at the happy hour because me and Jeff love happy hours, and they had he walked up and he was wearing an old-fashioned real estate T-shirt, and I said, "Oh, I've heard of you," and he says, "You have?" And I said, "Yeah, Old Fashioned Real Estate Podcast. I've heard of you." And he goes, "No, you haven't. No."
Because you hadn't heard of us. There's no possible way. Yeah. I think we had like nine subscribers on our YouTube channel then.
Okay, but I swore I heard of you. And so I stood by my story and I stand by it now. And so then he goes, "No, you haven't." And I said, "Well, I feel like I have. Old Fashioned Real Estate sounds familiar." And so,
well, in fairness, the way I remember it, you're just like, "Yeah, you guys are the ones that drink alcohol on your show and like talk about real estate." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that actually is us. So it's possible you had heard of us."
Okay, so then I probably was right. Anyhow, like I usually am. But anyhow,
you forgot to do the hands.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I probably was right. Just saying. So, and then we just started chatting, and then Jeff said to me, I said to Jeff, "I'm going to be on your show." And he said, "No, you're not, because we don't have guests on our show." And I said, "I'm going to be your first guest." And
you did say that.
Yep. And he said, "Well," and we were in Dallas at the time. He goes, "Well, where do you live?" And I said, "Southern California." And he goes, "Well, then I guess you can't be on our show, because we only do our show in person, and we're in Chattanooga." And I said, "I'll make it there someday. I'll be your first guest."
She actually said to me, "I will come to Chattanooga. I'm going to make this happen. It will happen." And you know what? You're wrong, because you haven't been to Chattanooga.
I haven't been to Chattanooga, but we both ended up in Nashville, where we did record the first guest ever on the Old Fashioned Real Estate Show. Yours truly.
It's true. So, and it's the first time I ever heard you sing.
Oh, that's right. I did sing.
On the show. So if you guys want to, you can go back and you can find the Old Fashioned Real Estate Show with Jillian Sidoti, and you can find her singing the Chattanooga Choo Choo song in Nashville. It's very entertaining.
It's compelling.
It's high-end stuff. All right. So, yeah, I'm sorry I missed that question. That's really sad. So, wow. So we have somebody who says they like inventing sushi rolls. It's kind of like inventing drinks.
I love sushi. I had some terrible sushi the other day, unfortunately. But, I could use some really good sushi right now. I feel neglected on that one.
I actually, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, I really want to just leave town. Like I don't actually care. I just need to leave town. I need to go somewhere other than Chattanooga for like a couple of minutes. It just seems like it's time. So maybe I will go. What do you guys think? I'm going to ask right now. Maybe people have an opinion about this. Do you think I can go watch a rocket launch in Florida at the end of this month? What do you think, Jillian? Is that acceptable?
Where is it?
Cape Canaveral.
Is Florida open?
Sort of. So NASA is not selling tickets to the viewing platforms and stuff because they don't want big crowds. And Florida's like half capacity restaurants and stuff. And my family has a condo like an hour from there, so I could stay I don't have to like get a hotel. I can just 7-hour drive. I can stay in the condo, go to the event, come back, stay in the condo, drive back. What do you guys think? Possible? I want some comments on whether this is reasonable of me or not, because it's the first time. Like, what you might not know about me is I'm kind of obsessed with space stuff, and I, for a variety of reasons, was not able to see the last space shuttle launch, and I really wanted to do that. And I knew it was going to be the last time they launched people into space in the United States for a very long time. It's actually turned out to be even longer than I thought, because it's been since 2011 since they've launched any astronauts from U.S. territory to the International Space Station. And they're doing that on May 27th. And I really want to see it done live. So that's what I'm thinking right now.
Here's the thing.
Look, we got a question here about, a comment about this.
I want to comment on your.
Well, that's why I put this comment up, because it's actually about that.
We always just parked on the side of the road to watch the space shuttle freaking out. That's what I was going to say.
That's what I mean. Like, because I went to the Falcon Heavy launch where Elon Musk launched his Tesla Roadster into space, right? I went to that. That was awesome. And there I had a view, I went to one of the viewing areas, but it was like it was basically social distancing anyway, because there's a lot of big open fields that people were standing in. But the only wrinkle is, since NASA is discouraging it, are they going to take steps to prevent me from getting a good view? And I don't know. It's hard to, because you can be like 10 miles away and get a good view. So somebody else says yes. We don't know who that is, but thank you for that. Yes, go. So also, by the way, there's one other member of our group that's going, and that person asked me to go with them, so I wouldn't even have to go by myself.
Well, look, I think you should go, mostly because
it's my last life ever. That's why I should go.
Second of all, like, even though my comment to Tim about how long the pandemic's going to last doesn't mean we should stop living life. It just means you have to live life a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, I can wear a mask and gloves when I get gas, and I can pack food. I don't have to like go hang out in crowded places and stuff like that, right? Like but that doesn't mean, like, actually I have a Facebook friend that I know, that she works on cruise ships, and right now she's going on a road trip around the country because, she doesn't have a job because she works on a cruise ship, and she's going all over the country and like going to these like state and national parks where there's like really nobody at them right now. So it's probably actually safer in a lot of ways than like staying home and going to the grocery store.
Right. And well, here's the thing too, is that you're going to be in your car most of the time. You're going to be on the side of the road when you see the rocket go. I mean, like, honestly, that's something I would want to do. I want to go see the rocket. I'm not getting on a plane though. Well,
hey, listen, so I have so this guy that works at Ruth Chris, the steakhouse, in the bar there, because, I like to go to the bar. He works, that's his second job. His first job is he works for one of the airlines. He was telling me that he's been flying a lot right now because he's on furlough from the airline, and he gets free flights, and they're not discouraging the furloughed employees from taking free flights because there's no one on the planes. He flew to Orlando from Chattanooga, and they're running the bigger planes, even though they don't normally fly them out of Chattanooga, because they have to. Apparently, they have to fly a plane every so often, or else they have to go through a huge maintenance thing. So they're trying to keep their like larger capacity jets in operation for when they need them again, right? Because it's apparently easier maintenance-wise to fly them than not to. So he said he got on this plane that was, 3 rows of seats across, the whole thing, like a giant plane, and there were 8 people on it. And there was no line at security because no one's flying. So actually, I'm not, and I talked to someone else who flew. Now, granted, this is all circumstance. It's all from Chattanooga, right? Like it could be different in different places, but like if you can fly from Chattanooga to Orlando and Orlando back to Chattanooga and with a connection in Atlanta, and all 4 of those flights have like 5% capacity on the plane, then it's maybe not that risky to fly someplace.
Oh, right.
And flights are stupid cheap right now because of that. So if you want to come to the rocket launch, you just let me know. I'll let you know what field I'm going to be standing in.
No, I would love to go, but I'm not. I can't do it.
No, I know you're not going to do it.
I'm pretty sure I already had Corona. I didn't get tested or anything like that.
Well, I know I'm going to stand like 20 feet away from you if you come, just in case you're still contagious, because I don't want to get Corona. Like, let's be clear about this. I'm pretty confident I haven't had it. If I did, then it was like way before anyone else had it, so it would be bad. It means I brought it back from China or something, which, then the world will be coming down on me and thinking me as the evil person. Although no one would have known, so like whatever, I wouldn't feel that bad. But I would feel bad at the same time, right? But anyway, I don't think I've had Corona. But anyway, look at this. So Benjamin's saying you can fly directly to the airport with no connections from Chattanooga. So that's good to know. I'm probably going to drive because I like driving and I want to get out and about. But
I like driving. I always drive to Vegas, which is the first place I'm going to go when coronavirus is over, or it's safe to go back to Vegas.
Let me know. I might fly to Vegas because that's a nice, easy flight from Knoxville.
And that's the thing, like I can drive to Vegas in a couple of hours and it's a good place, and you can take, like, I know this sounds weird, what I'm about to say, but you can take the kids. And what I mean is that you can find a nice hotel and find like a kid-friendly pool at a nice hotel and just hang by the pool and then go out for really nice food. Like that's what my kids do. They like to go out for nice food and hang at the hotel and be in the middle of the desert and buy, weird souvenirs.
So we said we were going to answer all the questions. Do you hold that to be true?
I think we already did, didn't we?
No, we missed this one.
What does that mean? Oh, wait. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I get it. All right.
So I'm guessing this is not directed at me, but I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at this first. Well, I definitely not having sex with Hugh Hefner because he probably had nasty diseases and he's already dead. So he's the easiest one to kill because I don't want to go to prison. So I'm killing him off. I'm marrying Bill Cosby because he's probably rich and will die soon. And guess that leaves Nick Cage and I for the beast with 2 backs or something. I don't think that works.
You know what? I'm glad you answered these questions, but okay, let's lay it out on the table.
Oh wait, by the way, it's Mary Bang Kill, Hugh Hefner, Nick Cage, Bill Cosby. So if you're not watching the Facebook Live, that's what the question is.
So, okay, and I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was just a series of words together. Now I realize. Well, thank you for interpreting. So, all right, here we go. First of all, I just want to point out that Bill Cosby is now, whether you believe it to be true or not, he is now a convicted sex offender, right?
True, yes.
So, but I think Bill Cosby was worth a lot of money. And now he's in jail and probably will be in prison for the rest of his life.
Perfect person to marry, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly why I picked him. Yeah, pick Bill Cosby.
Right. You're marrying Bill Cosby. Hugh Hefner should have probably been in jail for the same crimes. Who knows what he was trafficking?
Right, but he's easy to kill because he's already dead. So you don't have to feel guilty about killing him.
Yeah, no.
And it's better than necrophilia anyway.
Right. And then, you're banging Nicolas Cage and you just...
Because it's the only one left. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. And let's be honest, on Con Air, he got in pretty good shape. So maybe you could get good shape Nicolas Cage.
I mean, that to me is not really that big of an issue because good shape, bad shape, Nicolas Cage, about the same attractive to me. But what can I say? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Jillian's actually still here. She's just laughing so hard you can't hear her.
That was terrible. We probably should have just ignored it, but I'm glad. Thank you for making that interesting.
Yeah, for whoever asked that question anonymously of us. But all right, well, listen. So that is the end of the questions. Does anyone else have any more questions? You have like 3 minutes left before we normally end the show. So otherwise, I have more show and tell. Do you want to see more show and tell?
What's your show and tell? One show and tell, and then we got to
just one more show and tell. Okay, so I will show this because my brother was talking about his favorite book. I thought about it all week, and this is my favorite book to read. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. Okay. And this is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, which is very unusual for this genre. The Audible is amazing. This is a first edition, which is why it's in the shiny paper, because I want to keep it really nice. It's not super valuable, like maybe $100 or something. It's still enough that I don't want to ruin it.
Good for kids.
Well, it wouldn't be bad for kids, but I don't think you'd want to I think it might be a bit over your youngest head. Okay.
Not for the 5-year-olds. I'm talking about
Yeah, I think it'd be okay. So the story is actually about a person who grows up in Nazi Germany and then goes on to start comic books and fight in World War II for America. So it's think of it like all the epic adventure of a Forrest Gump, where all this crazy stuff is happening, but really, really, really good writing and all tied together really well with super good character development. It's fairly long, but it is very, very good. And if you haven't read The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, I would say definitely do that. In fact, if I were having a book club right now, it's the book I would pick.
Really? Okay.
It's not my favorite book ever, which I mentioned last time was probably Travels by Michael Crichton, because of the impact it had on me personally. But as far as just a stupid fun read, that's just really great. Kind of like your Count of Monte Cristo is really great. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. It's the same kind of thing as that in a lot of ways. It's like a modern take on this epic, sort of, because the Count of Monte Cristo, I mean, not to get overly professorial or something, but it's basically the Iliad, right? It's basically the same plot line as the Iliad. It's this epic quest plot, right? That's been around forever. This is a similar kind of thing. It's this epic quest plot, but with a really fun spin on it. So I think it's really great. I think I will, and my kids will do well with that, because we did really great with the Harry Potter series. Yeah, in a way it is kind of like that. So this book is actually set in New York City in 1939, right? I'm just glancing at it. It has mystery and intrigue. It has you're going to like it for sure, because you like the Prestige a lot, as we talked about before. Yeah. It's got a little bit of that kind of there's an escape artist kind of guy that's in there. I mean, so there's all this all this kind of entertainment, and it's and it really embraces things they deal with the creation of comic books in the 30s. Most people don't realize the 30s is when Superman was first created, Batman was first created, so it's all kind of mixed in with that, it's just really, really good. It's this huge, super large novel that's amazing. So I think if you haven't read it, you should read it. So if anyone's read that and they agree with me, then I want to hear. But more, I want to hear people who didn't like it, because I don't think that person exists. I really don't. I've never met anyone that read it that didn't think it was great.
Put it on.
What are we putting on?
Nothing. I went to go see if we had any other
comments
on Facebook, and it started playing a video of me yelling at my kid to put his mask on.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right, well, listen, I think that's it then. I mean, we're right at that time. I appreciate everyone for tuning in for this very unusual question and answer / show and tell / make Jillian laugh / unbox various things episode of The Last Life Ever. And with that, Jillian, do you have anything else?
Buy Coronavirus Collective on Amazon.
Definitely do that. Go to Amazon, buy the Coronavirus Collective, and that is the end of the show.